Hi everyone, I have a quick update. If you've ever wondered how to actually build consistency without burning out, I made something specifically for you. It's my brand new show titled The Work Ethic Podcast with Bidemi Ologunde. This is not hustle culture. There is no grinding for the sake of grinding. I don't do that. I wouldn't advise anyone to just hustle and grind and lose themselves. No. So I'm going to be centering sustainable excellence, the kind that works whether you're a founder, a creative, a student, a professional, a parent, whoever you are. So every week around Thursday or Friday, you'll get specific systems that you can apply immediately. Real stories from people doing the work in real life, and a weekly challenge we can all take together. Guess what the best part is? We're going to be doing this as a community. I've actually created a private WhatsApp community where you can share how the challenge went for you, where we can all swap ideas and send feedback to me directly so that the show gets better with you. So search the Work Ethic Podcast wherever you listen, subscribe, follow, and join us. I'm going to put some links in the show notes. Thank you. So thank you for joining me once again on another episode of the Big Picture Podcast. I have a special guest from Tel Aviv in Israel. Over to you, sir.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm Gideon Hazam from Memcyco. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's just jump right into it. We're gonna do some origin story and then lead right up to your time at Memcyco.
hmm
So you started at the Mamram Computer Center. Um, what did that environment teach you about systems, discipline, how to figure out cyber threats, and so on?
Yeah. So Mamram is it's probably one of the largest, more advanced computer centers in the Middle East in general,
Mm,
and it's part of the IDF basically. So
right.
and I spent obviously few years over there, and this is probably the biggest, one of the biggest labs
Mm,
technology labs in the world today regarding security and cybersecurity in general.
mm,
And during this term, definitely we learn one of the major things that we are, educated to in this region is to think out of the box, right?
mm,
We always think out of the box. We never take things as granted. We never say there is no solution for any problem.
mm,
The theme is that there will be always a solution for a problem, whether it's going to take us weeks, months, or even years. Eventually,
mm,
we'll find a solution. So, growing up in this kind of atmosphere lead a lot of people that graduate this service is to be entrepreneurs, right? We coming out of Mamram, and we basically think all the time the same way
mm,
of being creative, think out of the box, being innovative, and develop new things.
mm,
Um, so that's basically lead eventually to my career and my partner's career as well. Memcyco, it's not the first startup that we've established,
mm,
and and probably not the last one. So thinking all the time of new technology, new solutions, new market. This is something that lead us. It's in our veins, and this is the way we think. And yeah, that's basically, if I'm kind of concluding that period of Mamram,
mm,
this is this is where. led me to where I am today.
Nice, nice. Thank you for that, sir. So you've had over 30 years of experience. I'm just coming up. I'm just a little baby
Yeah,
compared to you. Memco Software, Expand Networks, CyberX, now Memcyco. Is there a pattern you see in how attackers evolve and a pattern in how defenders respond?
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's evolution. If we
Mm,
look, in the last 30 days, you mentioned Memco Software. So at that time, it was back in the 90s.
mm,
There was no cyber security.
mm,
There was security because cyber was not there yet.
right.
Internet was not there yet. Or if it was not used in the level that we see today. So cyber is something relatively new within this 30 years of career that I have. Um, so security was at the beginning, where someone is trying to break into my computer or to steal my computer and steal data. But this later evolved into cybersecurity, where we're all using the same network, the
Mm,
internet. Internet is basically the underlying technology that connects us all,
mm,
endpoints as well as computers, data centers, and so on. So if I can sort of tour into this internet and try to break in all these doors that you have now. There are millions of doors. And I'm kind of using this as a metaphor like, someone is trying to break into a house. So he walk in the street, there are many houses. All
mm,
these houses are protected in by having a door, but not all doors are locked, and
mm,
some doors have not only a lock, they have alarm system, and some would have CCTV and so on and so forth. But if I'm at the Docker and I'm working on that street, I will be looking where is the vulnerabilities are and where can I get in easily.
mm,
Same goes with internet. The attackers, they are surfing, they are looking through the internet, they're looking through services, applications, hosts, and obviously endpoints, which represent customers, users like you and me. And they're looking for vulnerabilities. They're looking for where they can get in easily. And if they do, what they can steal, what they can compromise, and so on.
mm,
So the attack surface globally is become huge, right? Because internet is the equivalent to the street I mentioned earlier,
right.
and the houses are everything that we see today, right? We're talking about hundreds of millions of websites that represent application services that people are logging in to consume services or to use services. And these are all targets for the cyber attackers. Um, so the market in that respect is huge for the attackers, but also the market is huge for the defenders, right?
Mm,
We need to have more and more capabilities, not only to detect where are the vulnerabilities are, but also detect where are the attempts of attacks are being conducted and what kind of attempts results eventually in successful breaking in into whatever system it is, and eventually if there is any way not only detect and alert but also to protect the victims. And maybe it's a good point to correlate this to what Memcyco does,
mm,
because I've touched three major pillars in this metaphor: detection, alerting, and protection. Right. So detection is depends on where and how we are going to cover, but I'm going to focus on specific area which we consider as the blind spot today in the market.
mm,
And that blind spot is what happens to you as a customer, let's say customer of a bank, if you get a text message or you get an email or get anything that eventually going to lure you, click on a link and get into a page that looks exactly like the bank, right? At that point, you are visiting the imposter page, the imposter site. And that page going to trick you and basically ask you to log into your bank account, and you're going to put your credentials in. At that point of stealing your credentials, where this is all happening, the bank doesn't have any visibility whatsoever
mm,
that this is what happening to you, right, as the customer.
mm,
This is the blind spot that cause a lot of problem today in the market, because if the bank, as that in that example, would know that you as a customer were exposed at that point, he could save you at that point as well, right? So your credentials might be stolen, but they will be useless,
mm,
because if the bank knows this in real time, he can do something that the attacker will not be able to use these credentials anymore.
mm,
So the earliest, the bank has visibility on you as a customer being exposed or being targeted, the earliest they can save you, and obviously as a result of that, they are going to save millions of dollars later on, because in that case they will save the compromised account of yours, they
mm,
will save the money stolen from you, they will save the reimbursement that they need to provide you as a result of that.
mm,
They will save all the hassles and all um, uh, the brand impersonation here in general. So this is the blind spot. This is where organizations don't have visibility today, and the only technical way in the past was to ask you as a customer to install something on your laptop, as an example, that will allow them to have that visibility.
mm.
But in reality, no one will install. Customers of the bank will not
Right.
install anything.
Right.
Is that clear so far?
Yes, yes. And I feel like the closest thing that can be allowed to happen is enterprise devices, because companies would install something on enterprise laptops to identify if a phishing attack is going on, if an account takeover attack is going on for their employees. So that when employee credentials show up on the dark web, the company's IT security team ideally should know in real time. Then they reset that employee's passwords and then tell the employee and their manager. They reset the password first because they see it first. Maybe it's happening over the weekend on a Saturday night. They
Mhm.
see it, they do all the things that needs to be done, and then the employee gets to work on Monday morning and they cannot log in, and then they see the email from their manager and so on. But customers should also have that, but there is a security and privacy balance that needs to be, met. Employees, that's fine because, the company owns the laptop anyway.
Yeah.
But customers, it's a different story entirely.
I think it was very well described, and I think you got the exact point here. So you can educate employees, you can force security policies on the employees, you cannot
Mm.
force security policies on
On
customers.
customers. Mm.
And definitely when it comes to the magnitude of number of customers, you have millions
Mm.
to educate. You cannot millions, you cannot force solution on millions, right?
Right.
So that exactly the point that we at Memcyco identify as one, as a major problem,
Mm.
and two, in order to provide a solution for this specific blind spot, the solution has to be agentless for
Mm.
the end users, and it has to be very light, very light in terms of integration, and be able to provide everything that I just told you.
Mm.
Right. So, looking now at Memcyco, so 5 years ago, we as four founders, we spent. By the way, the entire four founders are from the Mom service as well, so we all know together each other more than 30 years. Um, so we sat and we basically developed a solution for that: agentless, lightweight, seamless integration, and SaaS-based solution for our customers. And our solution today is basically built on this fundamental um, point that we set, because otherwise any other solution will not work. We
Mm.
cannot ask end user to install. We don't. We're not expecting the banks, as an example, to have a heavy integration with their backend system to
Mm.
support this. So our solution is basically we spent more than 2 years just developing the first version that we came up with, and basically the way it works is that we are deployed on. I'm using bank, but you can picture any other you know sector as well.
Right.
But we're installed on the website of the bank. Um, our technology is based on few programs, codes that are embedded into the website of the bank, and
Mm.
that's it. That's it. Nothing else is being needed. And
Mm.
from that point, basically, we are mapping automatically all the customers of the bank. And over a specific time, we have the ability to differentiate and to mark who are legitimate customers and who are not. And the one that are not, we know what drive them, what basically they do, right? So even within the attackers, we can differentiate the type of the attack.
Mm.
Um, and it's all about eventually account takeover. So everything the attackers will do to steal your identity, to steal your credentials, try to compromise your credentials and log into your bank account and eventually steal money, it's all about account takeover.
Mm.
So account takeover as a flow is built of stages, and within each stage, Memcyco has the ability to provide the indication or the indicators that this is an attack, and the attacker is targeting Gideon as an example, as a customer of the bank. Where and how this is all happening, this is all done in real time,
Mm.
and and then we have different options. Once we detect this, obviously the bank knows that Gideon has been exposed. But we have a way to alert Gideon as well as the customer. We
Mm.
can alert him specifically and only him telling him, hey, watch out, you are just now visiting and phishing site that basically taking your credentials. This is one option. The other option is that we can also protect Gideon. And we have different methods. Some cannot be disclosed now, but
Mm,
basically we have a different methods how to protect the customers. And protecting the customers can comes in different shape and forms, but eventually the attacker going to get different credentials
mm,
than the real one.
mm,
Or we can do other things that going to protect the customer eventually. Now, everything I'm mentioning here is done in real time. This is not after the fact. This is not a batch that run overnight and produce a report.
mm.
We talk about real time detection, real time alert, and real time protection. This is all done again with an agentless solution from the end user perspective.
Support for the Big Picture podcast comes from Celsius. If you're working on a healthier relationship with technology, a small shift can help. Step away from the scroll, take a walk, and reset your focus. Celsius is a convenient grab and go option for the moment you want energy with intention, so your day isn't powered by endless notifications. If you try Celsius and they ask how you heard about it, please mention the Big Picture podcast. Find out more on Celsius.com. Support for the Big Picture podcast comes from Audi. If you are trying to be more intentional with technology, it helps to choose experiences that support your attention, not compete for it. Audi blends performance with thoughtful design to make the drive feel focused and considered, giving you space to reconnect with what matters beyond the screen. If you check out Audi and they ask you how you heard about it, please mention the Big Picture podcast. Learn more at audiusa.com. Support for the Big Picture podcast comes from Amazon Prime. When tech feels like it's running your day, Prime helps you simplify the parts that don't need your attention. Fast delivery, easy returns, and entertainment options you can choose intentionally and on your schedule. Build healthier boundaries with your screens by planning what you watch, when you watch, and letting the errands handle themselves. If you check out Amazon Prime and they ask you how you heard about it, please mention the Big Picture podcast. Learn more at amazon.com/prime. We see a lot of news about AI, and some surveys said 42% of scams are now AI driven and they have higher success rates. What do you think is responsible for AI improving attackers' success rates so much?
Yeah. So definitely AI is something that not only all of us, including the organization, are leveraging because this is amazing technology and we can do a lot of things with that.
Right.
But obviously, the attackers are utilizing this too, right? The attacker, there are some kits, phishing kits today that basically can produce a phishing site using AI technology. And the AI technology, basically, what it does, it's building phishing site from scratch. But that build is look exactly like the bank login page, right?
Hmm.
And how this works. Basically, the AI engine is doing a screenshot of the original site, and they are using that screenshot and building out of that picture a replica that look exactly the same.
Hmm.
So it's not really cloning or using the clone like the old way, but I'm taking a screenshot. It's like I'm taking a picture and I'm learning. The AI is learning that picture and creating something very similar one by one. And once that page is being created, the AI will basically create the HTML code as well for that and everything from scratch. So with that happening, the AI has a way to hide any fingerprinting that we would be able to detect and say, oh, this is a phishing site. So AI build is more complicated to detect.
Hmm.
And definitely this is something that impacting the market today because a lot of security tools cannot tell, yeah, this is a fraudulent site because they cannot really understand that this is the case. What Memcyco does is that we have encountered this almost a year ago, and we've been working on developing on different ways. Remember the initial discussion we had regarding thinking out of the box.
Right.
So we're thinking out of the box here as well, and we are working on special way to detect that that phishing site is basically built on based on AI technology.
Hmm.
Um, and if we can detect this, at least we can alert and show that this is not a real site as a result of that. So this is under development.
Right.
To your point, definitely it's impacting the entire industry in many aspects. Um, and hopefully we will be the first one to come up with a solution to detect and protect against such a AI build solution.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And talking about AI again, another component of these AI based attacks is digital impersonation. So recently, my friend showed me a website that has a picture that was obtained from another website. And then this person built a website basically promoting martial arts. And they listed real people with real pictures. And they said they work for this martial arts studio. And my friend does not work in martial arts. She has no relationship with health, fitness, and so on. And they listed her as a fitness coach on this fake website. And it has a picture and it has everything she has done so far in her career. And the website looks legitimate. And we both know, my friend and I know, oh, this is not real because she is not a fitness coach. I know she's not a fitness coach, but nobody else, if someone sees it, oh, dude, it's a new company. They're trying to sell martial arts, gym memberships. And I looked closer on that website and I realized, oh, they set this up to do affiliate marketing scams. So they promote a bunch of products on that website. People click on those products to buy them, buy a gym membership, buy a mat, buy a yoga mat, and so on. Then they get some commission. That's what this scam is all about. Real people, fake profiles, and so on. So, why is this tactic so effective right now? Basically, impersonating people, put a bunch of people on a fake AI generated website, and then affiliate marketing scams.
So this is, by the way, it was there even before AI, right?
Mm,
Think about creating the same thing, the same type of site by putting whatever generic photos or whatever, but eventually it's creating traffic and luring people for affiliation with
mm,
other programs. So this is not something new. It's been in the market for years now. The only change here is that you can build and produce such a site much more faster and easily using AI technology. I mean, I can create few sites like this in a day just because I'm using AI technology. So it's much more easier, much more faster, and much more complicated to track, right? As I told you earlier, the AI technology does not really cloning, it's reproducing photos based on other photos, which basically going to look exactly the same.
Mm,
But it's not really copy and using the copy version. It's reproduce the photo from
mm,
scratch based on the original photo.
mm,
So original photos could be tagged and can be traced if someone is going to use them. Like Google is indexing everything, right, including
right,
photos.
right.
But in the case of AI build, it's not indexed, it's not tagged. It's built from scratch and it's embedded into this AI build site. So it's much more complicated. Um, the only thing that I can tell regarding this is that one of the ways that we are looking into is to interfere in the process of the AI producing this. So if if we can detect an AI engine who is building, actually it's not always AI engine, it's kit, automated kit that use
Mm,
AI technology.
mm,
So if we can detect which which are the kits, the automated kits being used that leverage this AI technology to build that, and if we can step in a way in the process of the AI doing this, we can even maybe affect this. We can maybe tag this. We can trace this. We can find these photos or these sites very easily.
mm,
So this is still something under research. Um, but I can tell you that one of the things that we developed at the early stage of the company was digital watermark.
mm,
And that digital watermark would present to you as an end user when you're visiting, let's say, the bank or any other site. And if you see that digital watermark, you know that you are in the authenticated site.
mm,
But if you don't see that watermark, uh, you should understand that you are visiting the imposter site.
mm,
Now, this is proven technology, very unique technology that we developed. It works. The problem with that is that, using the employee example that you mentioned earlier, you can deploy this on a company portal that serve employees because you can educate the employees to look for the watermark. But you cannot educate millions of people to look for the watermark.
right.
So this is the same challenge
Mm,
that we have. So basically, I can tell that we have a solution for that with digital watermark, but this require education.
mm. Wow. Wow. So, what are some of the most important new tricks that you are seeing regarding phishing, ATO, and impersonation now leading into 2026?
So obviously there are plenty,
Mm,
and they are being used in different ways. But I can tell that one of the things that we are seeing a lot, and I believe in 26 we're going to see more, is that the attackers are leveraging Telegram
mm,
as the platform for the phishing. So it's not really that you need to visit Telegram. You're going to visit, as a victim, you're going to visit a phishing site, like the old days. You're visiting a phishing site. But that information being collected on your credentials are not being transferred to the database of the attacker. they're going to be transferred into a Telegram account,
Hmm.
right? And that Telegram account, it's like a proxy. It's collecting all these credentials that being stolen, and from there, it's being pushed to a different platform. So Telegram become kind of a stage that we see a lot recently, that the attackers are using and compromising in a way that they are storing everything that they steal in Telegram, and from Telegram they push this in a legitimate way to their storage. So and they build that in order to not to be able to trace and get to them, right? So we found our technology basically found that, and we know that.
Hmm.
And when we are detecting an attack like this, we are able to capture all the stolen credentials that are being transferred to Telegram and use this to help our customers to be, protected. So we basically can tell the bank, hey, Gideon's credentials has just now been found
On
on,
Telegram.
on Telegram, and we can tell that this is definitely an attack. So
Hmm.
they can take whatever mitigation is required. Going forward in 26, I believe we will see more AI based technology.
Hmm.
One is building phishing site out of nowhere
Hmm.
based on AI technology, but I believe AI is going to be the most used technology to impersonate, um, build impersonation attack against people, right? And we already see that, right? I
Hmm.
can, AI can mimic my voice, can mimic my face. I can call you, and you think that Gideon is speaking to you. So to that level, this is already happening.
Hmm.
Another attack that we see, and this is emerging, I believe in 26 as well, is that people lure the victims that eventually the attacker has remote access to the machine of the victim,
Hmm.
using any desk or any other tools to get access to the laptop of the victim. And if the victim is now visiting the bank, I can see everything as the
Hmm.
attacker. Um, so we have at Memcyco, we have a solution for that as well. We can detect whether the customer of the bank is being remote access as well.
Hmm.
Um, and I would be careful by saying that whatever I think going to happen in 26, probably I'm going to be surprised the same way as you on new things that going to pop up and we didn't even think about.
Right. Right.
And the point with that is that this is a cat and a mouse chase, right? It
Hmm.
never ends. Whatever we develop, the attacker will find different ways, and we need to all the time develop new things to be two step ahead of the.
Right. Right. Sounds good. Sounds good. You flagged employee portal abuse as an emerging vector. What does that look like, and why is it attractive to attackers?
So without disclosing any names, obviously,
Right.
can give you an example of a big airline,
Hmm.
okay, very big airline that has employee portal, right? And within this employee portal, the employees of that airline are checking their salaries, they can do some money transfer from their accounts off that portal of the
Airline.
airline. They can do a lot of things. It's like they can manage everything that they get from the airline,
mm,
bonuses, uh, whatever, benefits, and so on. So if you are an employee of that airline and I can break into your account on the portal, right? I can do whatever I want. I can, transfer money from your account. I can do many things. So employee portals, and we see this a lot because technology is really advanced. More and more application being used internally within the portal of the organization. And if someone can break into that, it can do a lot of things. So we see a lot of interest today on that level. Organization calling us
mm.
to basically protect the employee portals, but basically protecting the employees. So employee, it's like the customer of the bank, right? If I can lure you, I can steal your money from the bank. If I can lure you, if I'm employee of that airline, and I can get into your account, I can do a lot of other things.
Hmm.
So employee portals becoming, as opposed to website, open website, employee portals is a target, and Memcyco basically deploy its solution the same way we deploy our solution on the bank side.
Got it. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, to start to wrap up here, as reluctant as I want to be mindful of your time. It's already late for you. Um, how do we communicate? How do companies communicate to customers during impersonation events without educating the attackers or spreading panic within the organization?
So everything that the organization can do behind the scene,
Hmm,
the better, right? If the organization making kind of creating a lot of noise on, hey, there's an attack, here we're going to protect you, hey, we just saved you, the more kind of noise regarding this, this will put that organization on the radar of the attackers.
hmm,
So everything that you can do quietly and behind the scene is the better.
hmm,
So our solution in that respect is basically built in a way that we detect, we alert, and we protect the customers even without them knowing this is happening. So it's all done behind the scene. And obviously, the bank in this example get notification on everything. He knows who was exposed, who was targeted, and so on. The customer of the bank, they don't know that.
hmm.
But behind the scene, we are saving them. We are saving them from falling victim into this attack. Um, if you visit Memcyco site as an example, you will not see any reference to any customer.
Hmm.
We're not disclosing any names of our customers. And believe me, we are deployed in one of the largest organizations in the world. And I would be more than happy waving this and say, hey, this is my. But we are the behind the scene company, right?
Hmm.
And this is what we do. I can give you an example that today we are monitoring and protecting more than 500,000,000
Hmm.
end users in different sectors: banks, airlines, financial institute, credit card companies,
Hmm.
and this is growing. We expect this to reach 1 billion in end of Q1 next year.
Wow.
So this is growing very fast, and we have more and more customers in that space.
Nice. Nice. This has been a very insightful conversation. Thank you so much for coming on. And I've learned so much about your organization. I've learned so much. I mean, I'm a cybersecurity professional, but talking to you for the past 45 minutes, I've learned so much about defenses and the things you can do to agentless, for example, light versions that you don't intrude on people's devices and you still protect them in a decent way. So thank you so much once again. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on that we didn't cover?
I think we cover, other than talking about literally how we do this and what we do,
Mm,
I think we touch on the high level, the problems, the solutions, and high level how we do this.
mm,
And let me put it this way: one of the investors in the company asked me one day what would be my biggest concern, and I said that my biggest concern that one day there would be no attackers.
mm.
So, um, and obviously, as long as we have attackers, we are good. We have business.
Nice, nice. Thank you so much, sir. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
If you like this episode, please share it with a relative, a friend, a coworker, a neighbor, an acquaintance, and so on. And then please leave a rating and or a review on your favorite podcast app. My name is Gideon Hazam, and this is the Big Picture Podcast. Thank you for listening.